Hi everyone, welcome to the Dragon's Den. I just finished filming my video for my October book haul. September, I don't know why I keep saying October. Oh, my September book haul, and now I'm going to film my October book haul because I got a lot of books in October as well. Now, while I got a lot of books, most of them were free. I cannot say no to free books. Like, ever. I am always downloading free ebooks. Always. And even though these are physical copies, because I'm not doing an ebook haul like I might normally do, even though these were all physical books, a lot of them were free as well. And I'm going to get to the ones I actually paid for before I get to the ones that were free, because the free ones are not in the best condition. And I want to show off pretty books first, because I like pretty books. Pretty books are pretty. But the first one I got actually is not a book, it's a comic. And I say comic because it's actually the Flimsy magazine comic. It's a comic. I got this when I did in October. I did Fayetteville Comic Con. I was selling books there, and there was another author there who draws and writes her own comics, and this is the first issue from her comic. It's called Sentinel. It's an anthropomorphic, and she signed it. Cool. I don't really know anything about this beyond what you see here. The reason I wanted to get it so badly and read it was because of the fact that she is 16. 16, yo. I was writing when I was 16. I was not publishing when I was 16. In fact, I just published Puck last year. I was still a teenager when I started writing Puck. So, 16, writing, publishing a comic, no less. She's got talent. Okay? I haven't read it yet, but I'm pretty certain that if it's published and people buy it, she's got talent. I could be wrong, but we're going to find out eventually, because eventually I will sit down and read it. This has kind of been buried in my box since I got it, so I haven't read it yet. Okay. The other books I got, I recently started working at Ed McKagan, and every employee's, depending on your sales and stuff, you get trade credit as basically commission. Sort of. So I've been using my trade credit to buy books there, and in October I bought 2 books from a series I've got the first 4 books of, and now I got the next 2 books, and I'm only missing 1 more book from the series and it'll be complete, and I'll probably end up ordering that one online unless it comes into the store within the next year. So these 2 books, I don't remember which order. Yes, I do, because they say on them. This is book 5. They're from the Last Dragon Chronicles by Chris DeLacy. And the first one is Dark Fire. It's book number 5. It is shiny. And there's a griffin in his eye, if I can point to it. There's a griffin in his eye. Yay. Or a gargoyle. Or something. It's a creature. And then book 6, Fire World. Same series, Last Dragon Chronicles by Chris DeLacy. So I got those 2. The next books I got were all classics. Thanks to the book tag challenge I'm doing, reading challenge that I'm doing this year, where I've got to complete this list, 1 book of certain requirements for the whole year, each month, 1 book each month from that list of requirements. There was a time when I was trying to get some more classics, to build my classic repertoire. I do not, now I do, but I did not have a lot of classics, so I've slowly been building my classics up. And so all of these are classics that I bought that I really want to read. The first one is Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. When I was in high school, the high school I was going to did a play, Flowers for Algernon. It was excellent. It made me cry. And I know the book is too, because I'm pretty certain it followed the book. So, that one. The next one is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I've always loved the play. When it first came out, the version with Anne Hathaway, I adored it. So I want to read the book. I have not read it yet. I am so sorry. I'm a bad person. I watched the movie before reading the book, but yeah, I'm a bad person. You can yell at me in the comments below. And my husband's walking past with the basket. Ignore him. He's going into the invisible closet that's a blanket for a door. But anyway, so I haven't read this, and I'm going to, And now I have it so I can. And we'll see what happens. Maybe eventually I'll get to it. Before I die. You know, because I'm never going to read every book I have before I die. The next one I have absolutely no idea what it's about. But I've been wanting to read it. And that is Lord of the Flies by William Golding. And actually, I thought I bought this one. But the more I'm looking at it, the more I think it was also a free one. So, and I'll explain the free ones in a little bit. So I don't think I actually bought this one, but it is a classic, so I guess I can go ahead and include it with this list. But I'm pretty certain I didn't buy it, and the reason I say that is because the pages are falling out, and the books I buy at that particular bookstore, they're very picky, and they would not have sold a book with pages falling out. So I don't think I bought this one. I think it was free, and I'll explain the reason for the free books in a little bit. The next one is A Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. I've watched the movies. I've watched multiple versions of the movie, I should say, and loved it. So it's time for me to actually read the book that the movies are based off of, and that the Vernians, I guess that's what they're called, those who actually believe Jules Verne, this book to be a science, to see what they're actually talking about, because I really don't understand it. I don't, and I need to. So yeah. Another classic I got is My Friend Flicka by Mary O'Hara. I grew up with the movie. My mom grew up with the book and the movie, so I wanted to read the book. I haven't gotten to it yet. Eventually I will, if no other reason, so that my mom can stop bugging me to read it, because she grew up with it and she loved it, and it's better than the movie, because books are always better than the movie 99.9% of the time. There is one exception to that rule, in my opinion, and we'll go into that with another video later on, not right now. So, yeah. Okay, so Lord of the Flies was probably a free one. The rest of the free ones, of course, are behind me instead of in front of me.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Ignore the man behind the curtain, he says. Because he literally just came out from behind the curtain. So where I work now, Edward McKay Used Books and More in Fayetteville, they have what's known as a free bin. What happens is people who try to sell books, we don't take every book. We look at them based on need, age, and condition. And any books that do not fall in those categories, we give back to their owners for whatever reason. They do, however, if they do not want to take the books back with them, they have the option of putting them in what we call the free bin. So all the books I'm going to show you were ones that we did not take, that their owners did not want, so they end up in the free bin, and I took them. So they're free books, and for whatever reason, whether it was need, age, or condition, most of the time it is condition, the ones I've got at least, are condition probably. So the first one is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. Always wanted to read it. I've read a couple other Stephen King books, but I have not read Pet Sematary, so I went ahead and grabbed it, snagged it. It's mine. I will eventually read it. Sorry about that. My card got full. And yeah, so I had to take the already done video off the card and put it on my computer. And now we're back. So, anyways, so the last book I talked about was Pet Sematary, and how it came out of the free bin, and I haven't read it yet. I've read a couple other Stephen King books, haven't read that one yet, and I will get to it as soon as I can. The next three books are from the Word and Void series by Terry Brooks, and those are Running with the Demon, Ow. A Night of the Word, and Angel Fire East. I have never read a Terry Brooks book before, but I've always wanted to, and since these were in the free bin, it was the whole series, I figured, why not? So, while I have not read them yet, I will eventually get to them. Okay. The next two books are actually the second and third from the Dark Sword trilogy, and that is Doom of the Dark Sword, and it's by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, if I'm pronouncing the name right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. So that's the second one, and the third one is Triumph of the Dark Sword. Again, I've never read any of their books. I've heard lots of good things about them. And I believe, if these are the two people I believe them to be, they also write a lot of the Dragonlance books or Forgotten Realms, one of the two. But I'm not even positive that they're the two authors I'm thinking of. I could be thinking of someone else. Or two other authors that partnered together. So, I've got those two. I don't have the first one, but since these were in the free bin, I am not worried about it. I can get the first one. It's not going to be that difficult. The last 3 books are all single novels. The first one is White Dolphin by Gil Lewis. I don't know anything about this book. Not a clue. It looks like it's a middle grade, especially since it says it's scholastics. So I'm assuming it's going to be middle grade, especially with how thick it is. Hope it's not elementary. But don't know anything about it. If nothing else, this can be a book for the girls when they get older and they get more interested in reading. So there's that one. The next one is Little Bee by Chris Clave. Again, I don't know anything about it, but it was in the free bin. It looked interesting. I mean, look at that cover. Look at that cover. You can't tell me that doesn't look interesting. So, I'm curious to see what this is about. Curious to read it. We'll see what happens. Can't say no to a free book. That looks interesting. Remember, I love my covers. Love my covers. The next book I've actually owned in the past, and it's actually recently become a movie, and that is Room by Emma Donoghue. I've watched the trailer for the movie. I've read bits and pieces of this book without actually reading the whole thing. And again, it looks interesting. And it was in the free bin. Why it was in the free bin since the movie just came out, I don't know. But it was. I took it. And I'm going to read it. So, eventually. Someday. In the future. So those are all the books I got this month. Or in October. That was October. So, November's can wait until after November is over, even though I don't plan on purchasing any more books this month. Let me not say that too loudly, because every time I say something like that, something happens to change my mind. So, let me not lie to you. I have no idea if I'm going to buy more books in November. I probably will, again, because I work at a used bookstore, and I get trade credit to use on the books in the store. Plus, there's that free bin. Yeah, I'm a bad person. Don't judge me. He's allowed to. He married me.
I told you, ignore the man behind the curtain.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not even there. So, that's what I got in October. And, I'll be back next month with November's. I say next month. We're halfway through November. So, while we are halfway through November, next month is not that far away. So, in December, early December, I will have a video of the books I got in November. And until then, talk to you later, guys. Bye.